This is Jazzy. She got up to check the camera. She paused it, but forgot to start recording. Story 3 is audio only. Say it with me. Bad Jazzy.
Okay, so for story 3, I have 2 stories because I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to put in. Story 4 is a creep story.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. So we can either do like it's called a haunted dress experience or delusional wedding planner.
Oh, that's hard.
One is longer than the other two. Delusional wedding planner shorter.
Okay, I think I want haunted dress experience.
Okay. Divine choice.
She's like, get out of there. Get the fuck out of there.
Ew. You should read that one later, though, because it's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, we could just read it and do a 5th story.
Yeah, story 5. Okay, haunted dress experience. I, female 14, was raised by
14?
19. Oh, yeah. F for 14. Okay. I, female 19, was raised by 2 atheists, so I never had any religious understandings of death or reincarnation or communication from those who have passed. This regrettably meant most of the things I learned about ghosts growing up was through ghost stories meant to scare friends and scary movies. I took a large interest in psychology, so I always find ways to work around or logically explain unusual experiences I had as a kid. Only recently had I started to reflect on my experiences through a different eye due to an experience I had last month that changed my perspective on things. I used to live in Singapore, and I mention this only because Singapore is a small island that recently developed over the past 50 years and still has a lot of history tied to the residences now. Many people claim areas of Singapore are haunted. In Singapore, I was raised in a shop house which is specifically tied to Singaporean history. There's a lot of unusual experiences I had in that house, but I won't go into detail about them because there's too many and I want to focus on the big ones. To summarize, though, the 2 places that I believe were haunted in that house were the master bedroom and the top floor. Now to the main focus and what I have the most questions about. If anyone has theories or similar experiences, I would really appreciate learning about them, as they would give me a greater understanding for what I went through. My mom used to collect antiques or vintage items, and there was one in particular, a traditional Chinese wedding dress, that she kept in her room next to her bed on a coat hanger. Ever since that was moved into her room, I felt uncomfortable as a kid being alone in there, and I always had this underlying dread that I didn't understand at the time. Over the course of a couple years, whenever I had nightmares and would go to sleep in her room, I woke up in the middle of the night and turned to look at the dress as if it was instinct or though it had woke me up. I had one particularly vivid memory of sleeping in her room one night and then having a nightmare of someone chasing me. As soon as this woman caught up to me in my dream, I woke up to see the lady next to my bedside. She looked like a young adult dressed in a traditional Chinese garment, which at the time I wouldn't have been able to imagine because I had no prior knowledge of what Chinese garments look like except for the wedding dress, but this was different. The woman had told me to go back to sleep and finish my dream, but I told her, I don't know. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Nah. I don't know.
Maybe. She insisted I go back to sleep and try, so I said I would. I asked her who she was, and she told me to sleep, so I turned away from her and knocked my knuckle on my forehead to see if this was real. I felt it. I will never forget the sensation. When I turned back, she was gone. My mother later told me the paintings next to the dress moved every morning, so she had to adjust them each time. A few years later, my mom hired a medium to cleanse the house after issues relating to work, but this medium turned her attention to the dark energy she felt was present in the house. Without my mother mentioning anything about the dress, this woman led her straight to it and said this is where the energy is coming from. She told my mom the dress belonged to a woman who had passed away just before her wedding and is unhappy with where the dress was, so she attached herself to it. To summarize, she said my mom had to get rid of it and return it to the place where the woman would be happy. My mom agreed, and since the dress was gone and the house was cleansed, I had no further paranormal experiences in that house. So this is where my questions come in. I feel as though ghosts or energies in the house targeted me directly. Everyone who stayed in the house overnight was always eager to leave the next day or tell me about sensations they would feel at night. One example is that a friend of mine felt something breathing at the back of her neck. Many of my childhood friends and neighbors specifically refused to go to the top floor. Despite this, though, I feel as though the most intense and physical interaction happened when I was home alone or when everyone else was asleep. Does anyone know why that may have been? Was there something in particular about me that welcomed that?
Well, you lived there, and you were a kid. So that
Kids
those
are
two...
like way more susceptible to everything like that, you know?
And there obviously was a lot of activity when other people were there because people were constantly having problems. So I feel like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, ghosts and demons usually target vulnerable people like children of the family, the weak, and the elderly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were just
par for the
pretty
course,
textbook
man.
what they go for. Have you seen a horror movie? They always go for the kids.
Yeah.
And then it escalates.
You lived there. So yeah, you get more experience with the ghost than your uncle who comes over once every month.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't like the upstairs.
Yeah. I feel something on my neck there. Is that you?
Yeah.
You know what I want? A haunted wedding dress.
Huh?
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Say more words. Go for it.
Well, you see, if I get haunted wedding dress, then I can, like, have someone else take over in the nighttime and plan the wedding.
I don't think that's how that's going to work out. Because if I've seen anything from cinema, it's like always like the bride with the axe and the dress, and then so your wedding will turn into a murder fest instead of being planned. And maybe that would be the plan.
Well, what if I heroically save the day by giving this bride her dream wedding, and then she, boom, curse is lifted as the ceremony concludes, and I'm like, wow, where am I? And I look down and I'm wearing the haunted wedding dress and it's wedding day, but I haven't been active in my life for months at this point.
Or she's like, I like this husband. I like this life. Sorry, Addi. And then she like blinks at the camera and like looks back at like the wedding. And then you're like, wait a minute, that was weird. And so you're not sure if it's actual Addi or if it's like the ghost, and it's definitely the ghost.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Credits. Yeah, because you're in the sunken place. You're just down there being like, let me out, Quentin, no, that's not me.
Oh, what if I become the dress and it's a cycle?
Yeah. There you go. Boom.
Wow. New movie that we wrote. Yep, that's ours. We're calling it Wedding Hells.
Yeah. Don't take it.
No, but
I want Brittany Snow to be in the movie.
Who?
Brittany Snow.
I don't know who that is.
She was in Pitch Perfect.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I know who she is. Gotcha. I do like the thought of having a vintage dress, though.
Vintage would be cool. Absolutely, 1,000%.
But how do you know it's not haunted?
Maybe get it cleansed a couple times.
Yeah, but
because also like if that wedding didn't end well, because there's like superstitions around wedding rings. Like if you get a thrifted one and the marriage didn't end well,
yeah,
then that'll be like put on
over.
you. So does that also apply to dresses and decorations? Maybe not decorations.
Maybe not decorations, but dress I could see, which is unfortunate because all the dresses you can thrift are donated more than likely.
Well, it could also be donated because they like, I don't need to keep this anymore.
Yeah.
It served its purpose.
That's true.
I see a lot on Facebook Marketplace that are like, I don't need to keep this in my closet. I have the photos.
Yeah,
I want someone else to enjoy it.
I'm going to get a Nosh dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to go wedding dress shopping. Yeah. I'm going to get one. I'm going to have one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be one of those fucking annoying ass brides because I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an engagement party.
Yeah.
Need a dress for that.
As you should.
I'm going to have a bridal shower. Mm-hmm. Dress for that.
Yep.
I'm going to have a bachelorette trip.
Yep.
Dresses, plural. for however many days we're gone. And then I'm going to need a dress for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of the night, I think I want to have like a bye-bye dress.
Yeah.
I think. And then I'm going to have a honeymoon dress, which is the dress I want to wear to the airport.
Yeah.
After we leave for our honeymoon.
Yep. Honestly, I want all those same dresses. So I see nothing wrong with that. In fact, you probably need at least 3 more dresses on top of that.
Yeah.
Just
what
for
other parties?
Occasion.
Yeah. What other parties can we throw?
Did you say reception? Or not reception?
Rehearsal dinner. No, but I do need a rehearsal dinner dress. But we'll also have one of those. What other party can I throw?
You could do a meet and greet.
Explain.
I'm pretty sure Lee's brother Jackson, they're like throwing like it's like before the wedding. It's essentially an excuse to have a pool party at a really nice pool.
Oh.
But yeah, they're like, yeah, everyone can come and meet and mingle, and this pool is really sick, and the food looks really good. So, excuse to throw a party.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I do love an excuse to throw a party. I am about to go balls to the wall planning an engagement party, but I will need help.
Okay.
So
I'm already there.
Well, obviously he'll help too, but yes, I need a feminine touch to that.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited.
It's gonna be so good. Ba-bing!
In case you forgot, after we've read all of these wedding stories, yeah,
baby.
Anyway.
Yeah, haunted dress, you're a kid, it's going after you like
crazy.
It's being assholes.
What? Oh no.
When?
When?
What even happened?
Yeah, other than I guess their insane connection, but like you also have
Need
it's a shitty
like-
situation.
like a mirror. Yeah.
Yep.
That's okay. It's only one. It's only one
story.
Yeah. You'll have to like put a picture of my ring though whenever I'm like showing off. It's,
How dare we?
Is it recording?
Yes, for real this time.
Okay.
The one time I don't check it after hitting record.
It's okay. It comes in at story 4.
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?